going to talk about thinking this morning. And it's going to be a very fast-paced session, so I need you to keep with me. How many think of themselves as being highly intelligent? Hands up. How many think the person beside them looks highly intelligent? Hands up. But you are a smart crowd. You wouldn't be here if you weren't smart. And I was reminded of that last week. A friend of mine's grandfather passed away, and she was telling me the story. She said he always thought that he could take his money with him. So when he knew it was at the end, he called in his 3 top advisors, and he said, I've had you my whole life, and I have lots of faith in you, and I do believe that I can take my money with me. So I'm going to give you each $50,000, put it in an envelope, and before my casket's closed, I want you to put that envelope in for me, and I'll see you on the other side with that money. So it happened, the memorial service was over, and as the 3 were leaving, they called each other together and said, well, what did you do? And the priest said, well, I put $40,000 in, but I kept $10,000 for my parish because I think they really needed the money. And then they turned to the doctor and said, what did you do? And he said, well, I kept $25,000 because he hadn't paid all of his medical bills, and I deserve to be paid. And then they turned to the lawyer and said, what did you do? He said, well, I did the right thing. I wrote him a check. So I'd like you to just turn to your neighbor now and describe your type of thinking. If you could put a word to the way you think, chat about it with your neighbor. Is it critical? Is it judgmental? Is it creative? Are you emotional? Are you intuitive? This is a lawyer's answer. I'm worried. We could be here a long time. From the Apple to the Mac to the iPod to the iPad, he really did take the boundaries and push them. So remember, it's very hard to make a boring idea interesting. It's much easier to tame a wild idea. If we were working with the airlines, you would say, okay, we want bigger seats, better food, faster planes, more, bigger, better, faster, more. Those are all concepts. It's hard to implement a concept. Much easier to take an idea and move with that. So often we do a concept fan where we'll go concept idea, we keep extracting it until we get to something we think we can work with. And this morning I'd like you to move away from the conceptual stage and move right to the idea. How about idea generation? Were there any of you who didn't really idea generate before, didn't look at that idea and try and see what you could do with it, but using this process you did? If we could do anything, if we could wish for something new and different, what would it be? So I just want to share with you a story. I'm always watching for people who are creative. And last week I was in the grocery store, and there was a woman pushing the cart beside me, and her daughter was just behaving terribly. She was crawling out of the cart, and she was screaming and grabbing the produce, and it was just a disaster. But the mother was so calm. She was just walking along the grocery store saying, I love you, Jennifer. You're so fabulous, Jennifer. I think you're the best ever, Jennifer. And this is what she was saying. So at the end of the grocery store, I was leaving at the same time as she was. I had a headache, but she looked great. So I went up to her and I said, I can't help but be impressed at how you handled your daughter, Jennifer. She said, oh, my daughter's not Jennifer. I am.